So good morning YouTube, and welcome once again to UKDiver. If this is your first time here, however, then just welcome. So I am very glad to be here today. I hope you're glad to be here today. But yeah, where are we? Well, today we are somewhere very, very beautiful indeed. We are in the middle of the Snowdonia National Park, surrounded by the Welsh mountains and hills and valleys and all that kind of cool stuff. So I am here today at Vivian Dive Centre, so I don't know if you can see that. So we're just here a little bit early because I wanted to take the drone up and get some nice shots of the place so you can see all that kind of stuff now. So that's nice and sexy. Oh yes. So yeah, what am I here today to do? I am here today to do a full face mask dry dive, which is exciting because I've always fancied to go with a full face mask and I don't really know anybody that's got one to have a go with. So I saw it advertised on their Instagram page, so I thought what a fantastic opportunity to come down and give it a go. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. We are doing a full face mask dry dive, and obviously I will bring you along for the ride. So hi guys, let me introduce you. So this is Claire from Dutton's Divers, the owner I believe, yeah?
Yeah, one of the owners.
One of the owners. Yeah. We've just set up, ooh, the scary thing, Claire's just going to run me through what it is. I've got some questions to ask before we go. So, what are we using today?
So we're going to be using Ocean Reef full face mask. So this version is G.Diver.
The G.Diver.
Which is one of the kind of entry sport level masks that Ocean Reef have. We've obviously picked up on here, he'll be the green today. So,
oh, lovely, my favourite.
Nice green mask there.
Yep.
So, what we're going to do, I know you said that you've not used one before,
nope.
But also we're just going to have a go at putting it on in a second as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to loosen off this harness.
Yes, here. I've got a fat head.
And inside, you'll see that there are two
now this is it.
nose plugs just here.
So it's one of the questions I've got is how do you equalise, so I guess that's what it is,
It is, yeah. So what these should do is they should sit somewhere here.
Okay.
So then when you want to equalise, you should just push the master gauge there, be able to blow, and then release
Block
it.
your
So
nose.
they shouldn't stick up your nose all the time and be uncomfortable.
Shouldn't stick up my nose, okay. Right, fine, okay.
Inside it, you'll see that you can change the distance away.
Oh, okay,
so we're
right.
just going to try and set that up with you in a
fine.
second. And these also spin, so if you do happen to have one nostril that's higher than the other, or anything like that.
Sure. Yeah, okay, you see an offset, so okay, that's fine. Okay. So once you've got it set up, then that's a fire and forget kind of thing, because it's only for you, obviously. Yeah. Right, okay, cool.
The actual function of the mask, so these are, strictly speaking, integrated dive masks, not full face masks.
Oh, okay.
So it's integrated because the regulator is part of the mask itself.
Whereas the full face one, you could actually swap the regulators out. Right, okay,
so inside it we've got this oronasal pocket, which is here, which is where your face is just going to sit inside. And when you breathe, it's just going to draw the air out of the regulator. Yeah. Okay, so you might find it a little bit weird at first.
Yes, I'm sure I'm going to.
Because you're used to having it in your mouth and breathing. You're having to obviously breathe through something else before you beg, if that makes sense. So,
we'll give it a whirl. It'll be fine.
And the exhaust port's just on the bottom. So when you breathe out, just like your normal regulator, it's just going to vent out of there as well.
Cool.
We've also got on here, so we can adjust the flow, just like you can do with your normal regulators. And we've also got a purge button on the front here, So unlike your normal purge button where you used to just go in, this one's quite violent. Okay. So if we did do that, it'd come out quite hard.
Okay, right, okay, so that's going to blast it everywhere.
So what we tend to want to do is just push on the side a little bit, which we'll get used to. We can use that also for if it fogs up.
Okay.
Of pushing that and the airflow around it. You can see it's starting to get rid of it here a little bit.
Okay.
It'll just clear the mass.
Okay. Well, that was another question: is how do you clear it? Because obviously you're not going to want to flood that and empty it out, are you? I would imagine.
They are really hard to flood. It's one of the good things about them.
If you do, are they really easy to clear?
They are, yeah. So we can just use the front of this, so you can just use the purge.
Fantastic.
And basically just hold on to it, and that'll get rid of it. Or you can just breathe out and keep doing that, and that'll get rid of it.
Fantastic.
So, but they are really hard to flood. I mean, when we do the actual skills, you do have to literally pull it away from your face and tip your
absolutely
head
right. Pull it right. Okay.
Get it to do that. So.
Well, that's good. We like hard to flood.
And they are a lot warmer as well. So as you've probably noticed, I don't know
I use normally an XD.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and it's a black frame, isn't it?
Yep.
So you'll probably find this a little bit weird as well, is that you're going to be able to see
a little bit more.
All the sides,
Yeah.
This bit as well is a little bit off-putting at first because it's kind of like double.
Just that weird little bit, yeah. Okay.
But there is a lot of field of view because you can obviously see all the way around there. So.
Another question then, and again one I'll get asked, is what are they like when you jump in? Because obviously you have to hold regs and mast, and that's quite a bit more surface area. So as you're going in, do they tug up a bit more than usually?
Hold it in exactly the same way as what you normally would.
Yeah.
As long as the harness is fitted
nice and tight,
and
it should be.
So it should come up.
And the other thing is hood. I've got my hood, standard hood, will fit through it.
Yeah. So your hood goes on.
Trimming or something.
No, so your hood goes on first, and then this over the top, so that if you need to get rid of it, then you can obviously get rid of that.
If I had somebody asking me, it's like, oh, do you need a bigger hole for your hood?
Yeah,
I was like, well, I don't think so.
It just needs to seal around this bit. Yep. So as long as once you put it on, if you just run your finger, put like you would read all around this,
okay, fantastic.
Then it should seal. It's positive pressure as well, so
cool.
It will keep on your face. The other thing that you might get if it's not fitted properly is that you'll get like a little stream of bubbles. Okay. So we'll just adjust that.
Yep,
well.
fine.
So.
Wonderful. Yeah. There we are then, guys. So that's a few of the basic questions done. So I guess I will try it on now. So I'm going to pass the camera over to wife, who then can laugh at me getting it on. All right.
So if you just put your head through here and just hold the mask up against your face, okay? And then once you've got it on, just pull the harness right the way down to the bottom.
So that's just these tags here?
Yeah, and then we'll tighten it up in a second. So just put your head through, that's it. And then that's it. So the harness is there now. So we're just going to do the middle first, okay? So you'll find a tab there, that's it. Just pull it straight back. And then if you switch over to the other side, that's it. And then if you do the bottom now, that'll just take up some of the slack. And then the top one just last, otherwise you end up looking like you've got big like antennas on the top of your head. So. Okay?
Yeah.
Pretty easy to breathe. Yeah? But if you won't do it so much here, but if you open that towards this way fully, you'll notice it a lot more under the water as well. So
that's going to be easier.
Yeah. And then what I want you to do is just have a go at the purge. Okay, so if you have a hand on your mask itself, okay, and then just lightly press on one of the corners, that's it, yeah, and you'll eventually feel it when it starts to come. That's it, come on, there you go. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah? So to get it off, it's a quick release, okay, so you'll feel two tabs that are on the bottom here. So where my hand is, just there, there's another one on the other side. All you're going to do is pull those down and forwards, and that'll release the whole strap.
Oh, yeah, wow. Oh, that is cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's not too bad.
And that's in a nutshell.
Basically, yeah.
Of how we're going to use it. You need to have your other mask with you. So if we did have any problems, which we'll talk about down the bottom in a second anyway when we do briefing,
swap over.
just switch to normal mask and also all mine. So
cool.
Yeah.
Right, so womble down there and meet you down there then, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. Do that?
No worries.
So, gotta be honest guys, this is one of the coolest little places to come and dive. Not that it's very big, it's tiny. And yeah, it's got a, I don't know, almost a mystical Lord of the Rings kind of vibe going on. So anyway, just let me show you. So I'm all geared up. Got my full face mask ready to go. So that's good. So apparently we're going in the cage first. So I'll show you that, and then we're going for an actual dive. So that'll be good. So anyway, let me show you the cage. So here, to make sure you don't get lost, which is kind of, I don't know whether I like it or not. It's kind of weird, but anyway, this is what we're doing first. So they literally have a cage. And obviously it's got a bottom on it, so you can't sink too far. I don't think it goes too deep, this. It's only about 14 metres. Looks clear.
don't know if you can hear this, but diving in this is a bit weird. Not having anything in the mouth as a diving is very odd. And what with me being a natural talker in the water anyway, I think we can probably do it more. I think what I'm saying is I can probably gap along the water, which would be reasonable. I don't find the equalising too bad. So I might be talking to you and you can't understand the word I was saying. What do you want? Let's see. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about this one, guys. Is this something I want to invest in? 400 quid. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to carry on doing the dive. I'll see you later.
So that's it, guys. Full face mask try dive finished. We're just back in the car now after having a good chat with Claire and some of the staff at the site, whose names obviously have gone straight out of my head. But yeah, really cool bunch, actually. Definitely very friendly. Claire was very professional, very nice underwater, stayed with me doing the full face, so absolutely top-notch professionalism. So absolutely recommend it. If you're thinking of doing one, go and do it with these guys. I can't recommend it highly enough. So the actual dive itself then, what did I think to it? Well, it was odd, bizarre. There were some things that I thought was definitely going to be a problem that surprisingly weren't a problem, and then there's other things that I'd not even considered were going to be a problem that definitely were a problem. So I was worried about fogging up and things like that, and there was no issue with that. So basically, to defog the thing, it's a bit like your car windscreen. You turn air on. So when I first put the mask on and we were getting in, the mask did fog up a bit, but you just press the purge button and it kind of blasts across the front, and just like your car windscreen, you know, when you turn the fans on full, it just cleared it. And then after that, for the rest of the dive, it was absolutely clear. So that wasn't a problem at all, which I thought, you know, it perhaps might be. So that wasn't too bad. Another thing that I was kind of worried about was the equalising, okay? But we've already spoke about the bungs. Claire showed us on the intro how to use those, and they work surprisingly well. Probably could do with a bit more adjustment to get them just right for me, but again, this is a mask that kind of everybody uses, and if I was to buy my own, obviously you'd set it up perfectly yourself. So again, that wouldn't worry me too much. The actual dive itself was good, okay? Now, one thing that Claire did say, and was a little bit distracting, a bit weird, and took a little bit of getting used to, is where you've got this sort of full frame of the mask here, and then it sort of curves round. You've got an extra sort of thick bit here, and it does like give a bit of a weird optical illusion. So even though sometimes Claire was behind me, I could definitely sort of see her in this sort of little 1/4 inch of plastic here, and it was just a little bit weird where you'd suddenly see some movement here and you'd look round and there's nothing there because it's picking it up from the back of you. And again, that was sort of right around the mask. So right, you know, the start of the dive, that sort of was a little bit distraction to start with, but you soon sort of got used to that and sort of discounted that kind of thing. But it's something to bear in mind. I think for me, the weirdest thing was how buoyant the mask is, because obviously it's a big space and it holds your head up. It definitely just holds your head up. You've really got to sort of pull your head down if you want to look down at anything. So that's something that you need to note as well. And that particular mask does not like being inverted. So if you look down, look at something, and sort of your chin goes a little bit too far, it does start bubbling out of there really quick and starts free flowing. As soon as you lift your head back up, it stops. But if, like me, you're a bit of a critter hunter and a bit of looking under rocks and stuff, that's going to be a bit of an issue. Now, talking to Claire, she said the next model up comes with some baffle on it or something. If you're going to do that, you flick something and that sorts that out and controls that so you don't get that free flowing. So again, not a massive issue, maybe a slight upgrade on the mask if you were considering buying one. So that's not the end of the world, but again, something that I wasn't really expecting. One thing I did notice, and you probably noticed on the video, is there seems to be this constant stream of bubbles coming out the front, and that you could hear like underwater quite a lot, and I got to be honest, after sort of 20 minutes that was getting on my wick a little bit. But that's just where that mask seal is not perfect for my face, and again, you can get them in different sizes. I do have like fat wrinkles here, so I would need to get something that would sort that out and the right size. Again, this is just a try dive, so but if you sort of pressed it onto you a little bit, that sealed it up and it was a lot better. I think for me, the best and / worst thing is not having anything in your mouth. It's kind of very weird when you start breathing and you can sort of hear that regulator noise, but you haven't got anything in your mouth. And it's really nice to be able to talk, but I'm a talker underwater anyway, and I'm pretty sure I'd probably blow through my gas a lot quicker with a full face mask, just because I'd be talking all the time and being actually able to talk rather than just mumbling through your egg kind of thing. So yeah, really interesting. One of the other benefits is that with the mask being so full on your face, it's much warmer on your face. The flip side of that is you are more isolated from the environment. The water doesn't get to you, so it's another, you know, we wear a dry suit so we don't get wet. Now wearing a full face mask, you know, basically a bit wet was sort of, you know, here, that was it kind of thing, and that's covered under a hood, so it does limit you from your environment a bit more, but it does keep you nice and warm. The other thing I noticed, and it's one thing that Claire said would happen, is I didn't have to equalize as much. Now I'm normally quite an equalizer, okay? I mean, there's some of my dive buddy friends and they're all bastards because you know, they equalize at 10 meters and never have to do it again. Me, I'm kind of one of these ones that, you know, every 2 or 3 meters I do have to equalize normally. In the mask, 3 times, I think. You know, we went to 18 meters, I think I equalized 3, maybe 4 times max, so that's a lot less than I'd normally do. So that's something that I didn't even know was a thing. You know, I thought that would be the same, but it just certainly seemed that with the full face mask, it's not so bad. And then there's the other issue with it as well, is it's a lot of money dangling off there. You know what I mean? I would, if I'd spent, I mean, that particular model, Claire retails, and I will put some links down there below for you, sort of retails about, you know, 375, 400 quid. So it's not vastly expensive, but, you know, sort of the more expensive models that you get a bit more kit with is definitely, you know, you're talking, you know, £1,000 plus. And to have that, you know, sort of swinging about on a hose, I would be uber stressed about scratching the damn thing or, you know, breaking it or something like that. So, you know, there is that kind of practicality. You know, is it rough and tumble enough? That one didn't feel massively rough and tumble, I've got to be honest, but, you know, it would be something that I would stress about, you know, breaking, scratching and basically knackering up, because again, I am not a delicate type of person, so I think you do have to sort of bear that in mind. Overall, a fantastic experience. I've wanted to have a go on for a while, and I got to have a go with one, and it was a really great experience. And the guys here at Dutton Divers really made it a pleasurable experience as well, even though not perfect conditions. You know, cold outside, cold in the lake. Pretty good viz though, so it was really, really good. I'm gonna have to have a good think and do a bit more research, because I'm not convinced at the moment at all about dashing off and buying one. I'm really not. I think there's definite pros and cons to them. I'd like to find out a little bit more about how the comms system works and how much it is and all that kind of stuff, but it's definitely whetted the appetite a little bit. It's definitely not a no, that's for sure. I hope you found it slightly useful, this. I'm sorry there's no like massive conclusion like, oh, you definitely want to go. I think it's horses for courses. Like I say, I'm very much on the fence with this, but it is something that I'm going to look into a bit more and think about perhaps where in my diving this would fit. You know, is it good for doing YouTube videos? Can I do some narration underwater? Are you even interested in that? You know what I mean? It's that kind of thing. Leave a comment down below if you think that would be a good thing. I'm not sure it would, because I do end up a bit of waffling underwater, even when I just dive in normally. So please do me a favour, guys. If you do like this video, even just a teeny weeny little bit, then please do hit that like button. It helps me out no end. It tells the YouTube algorithm that the content that I'm putting out is good, and if it's interest to people, and if it's good for you, then it's more, the algorithm is more likely to recommend it to others, so it does massively help the channel out. So I really would appreciate a like. I really would appreciate a comment. Have you tried a full face mask? Do you dive a full face mask? What do you think of them. If I was to buy one and you've got one and you think I should buy that one, then please leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you, because like I say, I'm going to be doing some more research on this. And then obviously, if it's your first time to the channel, guys, I hope I've earned your subscription. If I have, then please do give me a subscribe. That would again be very, very much appreciated. But other than that, guys, I'm afraid we're at that point where I'm going to say love you and leave you, and as always, I will see you on the next one.